In this video, we will going to understand software myths. Software myths are beliefs about software and the process used to build it. So, misleading attitudes that cause serious problem are called as myths. There are three types of software myths, that is management myth, customer myth, and practitioners or developers myth. Let's see them one by one. Management myth. We have standards and procedure to build a system which is enough. But is it it? Is it the case? Like in some of the cases, reality is different. Are software practitioners aware of standards existence? Does it reflect modern software engineering practice? Is it complete? You just have to check whether this question satisfies some answer or not. So is it streamlined to improve time to delivery while still maintaining a focus on quality? Though the management think that they are correct, we have all the things and we have just procedures and standards, but it is not necessarily that this will be going to help you in system building a system, because you also need some other things, whether you just also need that your each and everyone in your software who will be get involved, they should be aware of all of the standards. So in many cases the answer to all this question is no. Next myth is that if we have the newest computers and development tools. So it doesn't matter if you have the newest tools and computer or development tools. It doesn't complete our whole the system. It, though we are having all of these new systems in with us, the reality is different. It takes much more than the latest model computer to do high quality software development. It's not just based on what kind of hardware you are using. Sometimes it is very important that you should have a good kind of software also. So computer aided software engineering, that is case tools, are more important than your hardware. Next myth is that we can add more programs and can patch up the schedule. So it's not just you can add the programs and you will complete your whole software within a time. Sometimes if you'll add more programs, software development is not like a mechanistic process like manufacturing, like what we do. So this is what we do in software engineering. We follow some process, we do designing, development, testing, maintenance. And if we say about the manufacturing, they just do one kind of process, and in a batch they produce lot of this products. So your software engineering, these are not a kind of manufacturing software development. In other words, we can say adding people to the lead software project makes it latter. Means suppose I have did half of the portion of my software, and now I want, like, you need to add some new team members in your software. So people who were working must spend time educating the newcomers. Now, those who have developed partially half of the software, they need to explain them what is this, how our software will be there, and how you have to do. Like most of the time here, you will need to spend on educating the newcomers, and people can be added, but only in a planned and well coordinated manner. If you'll not go with some kind of plan or well coordinated manner, that will be waste of our time. And like in some of the cases, we cannot end our software too soon. Next myth is, I outsource the development activity, now I can relax and can wait for the final working product. It's not the thing. Reality is different. If you'll give it to someone else, and you will just think that when I just given my software to someone else, now they will develop it and give it back to me. But the problem arises when if an organization does not understand how to manage and control software project internally, it will invariably struggle when it outsources software projects. Now, what are the myths according to customers? Customer will say, like, a general statement of objectives requirement is sufficient to start a development, but the reality is different. We can say it's not the matter. Like if you know what is the objective, you have to what is the thing you need to create in your software, but you just you will need to understand that comprehensive or detailed statement of requirement is not always possible. An unambiguous statement of objective can lead to disaster. Suppose if customer thinks that, I had given that particular statement to now software manager, he will going to look it into it and he will just going to do whatever, like I had just given the task, now he will give it to me and complete it within some kind of duration. Suppose a user says or customer says, hey, I want to build some kind of billing software, and he thinks that his task is done, but the task is not done. We can do billing software for a lot of the kinds of domains. For what kind of domain do you want billing software? So that is also essential. Suppose you want billing software for medicine, suppose you want a billing software for grocery shop, any kind of shop. So in that way your requirement and your whole this requirement will be get changed. So that's why we say that it's not necessary that a general statement of objective is just sufficient to start the development. Unambiguous requirements can be gathered only through effective and continuous communication between customer and developer. And to just gather hold the clear requirements, we should schedule the meetings in between customers and our developer, so that by communication we will lead to some conclusions what exactly we want in our software. Next myth, customer myth is requirement changes can be easily accommodated because software is very flexible. But it's not the case. If we add any change in our software at some 3 to 4 months later, so is it is true that software requirements change, but the impact of change varies with the time at which it is introduced. Suppose for very first time, whenever I say like my software is about to get started, at that time I am changing the requirement, that will be good. So I will not have to spend too much time in creation of the in doing a lot of things, changing all other things. I will start with that particular requirement. But now your product is created and you just about to deliver it to the customer, and at that time customer says that I just want to make a change at this particular point. So now at that case you have to spend a lot of amount of time in all of the phases from which you have started. So that is essential at what particular time your change in this requirement is introduced. When requirements changes are requested early, the cost impact is relatively small. If your requirement change is occurring at the last, so your cost is also get increased, your time is also get increased. According to developer and practitioners, what are the myths we have? Once we write the program, our job is done. Okay, we can relax. But it's not the thing that you just have to write the program. Expert says the sooner you begin writing code, the longer it will take you to get done. Industry data indicates that about 60 to 80% effort expended on software will be after it is delivered to the customer for the first time. It's not just a matter of writing the program. If you will write the program, it's not that your job is done, what developer thinks, because when we will give it to the customer, we also need to understand whether that is as per the customer. Sometimes customers say that I just want to make change at this particular place, at this particular place. So we just have to continuously take the feedback of the customer for that particular thing. Next myth is I can't access quality until it is running. The thing is, it's not like when you will write the code for software, you will develop the software and then you will access the quality. You can also start the sooner. One of the most effective software quality assurance mechanisms can be applied from the beginning of the project, the technical reviews. Software reviews are most effective quality filter than testing for finding software defect. Sometimes we say that if we'll schedule the meetings, if we'll review what work we have done, if we'll continuously make the reviews, technical reviews, what was the thing we have to do and what we did. Like if we just make a kind of arrangement, some meetings where we are technically discussing about the project or software, so in that review or in that kind of meeting we get to know what we have did. So in that particular meeting or review, we can make changes in our software so that we can improve the quality. So we can start with it's not necessary that you can't access quality until it is running. Next myth is working program is the only deliverable work product. Meaning of this is like you just have to write the code and give it to the customer. It's not the need of your software engineering or your software. The thing is that a working program is only one part of your software configuration. A variety of work product, that is your models, document, plans, provide a foundation for successful engineering and more important guidance for software support. So if you just delivered your software to the customer, it's not necessary that your task is done and that is only thing you have to create. Along with that, you should also write down what is the manual for it, how to use that software, what is like you can also add the help desk for it. You can also create some documents, some plans for that particular software, so that later on if any developer wants to make changes, he or she could be able to make changes in it. Next myth is software engineering is just about unnecessary documentation. It's not unnecessary documentation you are doing in the software engineering. Software engineering is not about creating documents, it is about creating a quality product. So if you are creating any kind of quality product, you are not manufacturing anything here, you are creating any quality product. So for better quality leads to reduce rework. We want to reduce reworks. That's why what we are doing, we are keeping all the documents, all SRS, all plans, all these things which are related with our software. And reduced rework result in the faster delivery time.